Yo, what's up, people? This is Shelvon with Gaming and Culture Television. Uh, there was an article that I wanted to read when I did my little thing Sunday, but I didn't get around to it. So I thought I've been trying to check this out for a little bit. So, all right. And it's AI will cut animation and labor production by 90%, says former DreamWorks animation CEO Jeffrey Katzenberg. All right. This is a short article, and in it they have like a little thing of him, uh, I guess, talking about it. I've read a bunch of articles about AI, and it seems like it's one of those things where it's kind of inevitable. And if you are going to exist in this brave new world, as they say, you need to learn how to utilize what's coming. And I've seen a bunch of artists and various other people spending more time complaining about it and just dealing with the fact that, look, it's coming. You can be upset about it. It's like yelling at, it's like standing on the beach and yelling at the sea, because it washed away your sandcastle. There's nothing you can really do about it. So you need to learn how to exist in this new paradigm that's coming. So speaking at a Bloomberg New Economy panel in Singapore on Thursday, Quibi founder and former DreamWorks animation CEO Jeffrey Katzenberg needed fewer than 3 minutes to give voice to animation industry artists' worst fears. During the panel, Katzenberg was asked about the impact on AI on production, and he predicted that within the next 3 years, a world-class animated film won't require 90% of the time and labor that it would have back when he was making animated features. In the good old days, when I made an animated movie, it took 500 artists 5 years to make a world-class animated movie. I think it won't take 10% of that. Literally, I don't think it would take 10% of that 3 years from now. So basically, this is him talking about it. So
talk to me about how you see AI's impact on the creative class, broadly defined, whether it's artists, writers, filmmakers. Do you see it as a I think it's going to be revolutionary, but how do you think about the outcomes from that?
Well, when you started with your list of industries that will be most impacted, I don't know of an industry that will be more impacted than any aspect of media, entertainment, and creation. If you look at sort of a historical perspective of, whether we went, from a pen, a paintbrush, a printing press, a still camera, a movie camera. These are things that just expanded creativity and all sorts of storytelling in extraordinary ways. And we've seen how that has continued to evolve, and today all sorts of new forms of media and entertainment. It's been explosive the last 10 years. I think if you look at how media has been impacted in the last 10 years by the introduction of digital technology, what will happen in the next 10 years will be 10x as great, literally, by a factor greater. And I think AI as a creative tool, think of that as a new form, a new paintbrush or a new camera, has so much opportunity around it. I think that it, on the one hand, it will be disruptive and commoditize things that are very inaccessible for artists and storytellers today.
What kind of things?
Well, the good old days when, I made an animated movie. It took 500 artists 5 years to make a world-class animated movie. I think it won't take 10% of that. Literally, I don't think it will take 10% of that 3 years out from now. Not 10 years out.
But to get the movie out the door, which that's a different discussion than what actually inspires
but these are tools
the narrative or the
yes,
creative
but that's
moment.
still going to, in my opinion, I think that is still going to come from creativity, of individual creativity. I think these people here are, way above my pay grade in this, but, I think they can express very clearly that you can have access to all of this knowledge. It's your ability to prompt it that actually produces a result. And so prompting is in fact going to be a creative commodity and across many, many, many different aspects of storytelling.
Okay. Let me get rid of this. So the executive said that from his point of view, and then on the inner, okay. All right. So this is basically repeating what he said, according to the executive. All right. So this is an inevitable thing. All right. Let me get back. Big head. All right. So this is kind of an inevitable thing. It depends on how you approach this as a creative person. Uh, as a side note, I used to work at a central office for the phone company. And when I worked there, there were 5 people there. All right. Um, but if you went back to someone who's 10, 15 years older than me, when they worked in there was like 20. So when you walk around, there's like phones every place. They had to communicate with each other because you did one little thing. And so as the technology come around, each one of those persons was basically replaced. And then when I eventually left, most of the hardwiring stuff was going to be done in the computer. They were going to hardwire one side and it will go into the system and then hardwire the other side out of the system. All right. So if you wanted to add anything to phone lines or however you wanted to do this, the computer would have done that. All right. So this kind of thing is happening all over the place. If you are a creative person and not just a person who learned how to do like a little bit, you can, and you were kind of gaining the systems. I think a lot of people who are complaining about this are the people who are kind of gaming the system a little bit. This will give you the opportunity to, if what he says is true, you'll be able to make like a 90s Disney full feature with 10% of the people. So that meant whatever thing that you make, you'll be able to do way more with the help of AI than you could have possibly done 10 years ago. So it is up to you to decide how you are affected by this. So, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but this is how the world is going to be. Instead of giant corporations, it's going to be it's going to be the YouTube, I guess, YouTube effect on everything. So, all right. This should be interesting and it should bring out the creativity in people, hopefully. So if like I said, it's a brief article on Cartoon Brew. All right. If you have any comments on maybe you think I'm mistaken about my opinion, let me know. So please like and share and subscribe to Gaming and Culture Television and share it out with all your peeps. All right. Later.